Islam said all the babies go to paradise. Forget about it. They're already in the picture of Islam. True? Why you say something like that? So just in the same way, we can't come along now and try to redefine things just to play a game of, hey, I know something you don't know, and you better come over here and measure up your pants when you walk through the door, and we're going to see just exactly how high they are. Okay, that'll work. You can go do salat. Now, maybe you don't have that problem here in Australia, but I've seen that in our country really bad. And it doesn't stop there. They come out and say, well, how long is his beard? Because there's, one of the hadiths is talking about Abdullah ibn Omar, who after Hajj or Umrah, that, people, you cut your hair or shave your hair, and he took his beard and cut the excess off of that. So somebody might come up to you and say, okay, your beard is too short because you can't grab it, or it's too long because what comes out after it. And you're like, what? What is this? Where did you get all this stuff from? And then somebody could come along and say, what's that in your pocket? Mr. Miss Wack? How long is it? How big around is it? It's too fat. It's too short. Your beard is too short, your pants are too long, your miswak's too fat, and you're going, what is this? Sounds like rap music coming up here. I'm sorry, but when it turns into that, this doesn't feel good. It really doesn't. It seems like we're looking at the outside only and we're forgetting about the essence behind what we're talking about. I'm happy that the brother came for Salah, aren't you? He came for Salah, to make dua. Maybe he was going to make dua for me. Now he's going to make it against me. Because I picked on him, Wouldn't it be better, let's go talk to some real sheikh, not somebody that just spent half a year in Medina and got kicked out. Somebody that really knows what they're talking about, and ask them. Now, in the 17 years I've been Muslim, I doubt I learned enough to even qualify for being a good dai. The only reason they let me come and do it is because I'm a white guy from America, But still, I love Islam, I love Allah, and I love this deen, and I wish more people knew about it. Okay? There's my qualification. That's it. But in the time that I've been visiting other countries, what I have seen is that the real scholars of Islam are very, very easy and very tolerant, especially when people are new to Islam, to help them to get adjusted, to come into Islam easy, step by step by step, to teach them wudu, teach them salah, teach them about fasting and zakah, so that they don't wind up going bonkers and run away. Because after the Shahada, and we saw so many thousands do Shahada, alhamdulillah, I'm very happy about that. But then what happens when I leave, and the first thing a guy walks in the door, and it's not a joke. This is a serious wake-up call. When somebody just made Shahada, and he's going to come back now to the masjid, it's the first time to come back, and he's scared. Remember that. Do you know how you look to them? You didn't know, do you? You don't have a clue. Because they're not used to seeing people with beards, not used to seeing people from other ethnicities, not used to hearing people talk with the accents that we have. I'm including me now because I'm a Texan over here, which is the same as being from outer space. But so when I'm talking to them, and you're talking to them, they're still looking at us like they don't know. They're not sure. But they made Shahada, and they came back. So when they come through the door, we got the Bismillah police guarding you, right? You know what I'm talking about? The guy with the clipboard? You know what I'm talking about, right? So as soon as somebody comes in, who's this guy? Oh, we don't know him. He's never been here before. I don't know. Maybe he's a spy. Maybe he works for the FBI. Oh, my God. Could be. I got news for you. The real spies, you can't tell them. This is true, man. But anyway, so this guy's coming in and he doesn't know what to do with his shoes. He doesn't know where to, and you're going, aha. And then he steps in. Now remember, he's made shahada. You don't know that yet. He comes walking in, and he remembers that somebody was telling him to go in, and he's learned how to do some salah anyway. He wants to try to do the Tahiyyat al-Masjid. He walks in, check out his pants. Oh, man, they're too long. There we go. Where's the beard? Too short. It's only like 3 days growth. Well, he made shahada 3 days ago. Makes sense? And he walks in, and now he's going to try to do, let me think, okay, that's the Qibla. You don't even know how to say it. He read it out of a book, the Qibla. And he's like, oh, look where he put his hands. Stop for Allah. And I'm not joking. Even if he doesn't know, suppose he'd be like off the Qibla a little bit. Well, you go and put somebody on the Qibla. He's turned the wrong way. So you go up to him and you go, snap him around. It would scare him. And I remember one, we gave him Shahada, and the same night he left Islam. Same night. He did Shahada, and when it was time for the Salah, they told him, do the Salah with us. And I said, because he was bigger than me, said, let's let him sit in the chair. No, he should stand up. He's healthy. Good. Okay. And guess what happened? He had never, ever made Salah before. He doesn't know how to balance himself. He has no clue. You and I know how to do it. But when he bent over, he rolled. When he got up, that was it. That was it. Just over something like this. He was embarrassed. So how would it be that you would feel if you didn't have any clue about this? You went someplace, you don't know the people, and then they treat you like this. And you wonder why these people don't stay around. And if you think it's bad for the brothers, it's 10 times worse for the sisters. Because there's so much jealousy amongst the sisters. They're scared to death. Oh, man, she's young, or she's, a white-skinned lady. Oh, my husband might not and take another wife right away. Whoa! Not funny, baby. It's a problem. So I told you about one hadith. The other hadith, when it says that when you see a munkar, what is it you're supposed to do? You'll have to stop it by what? Your hand. Yeah? And if you can't, stop it with your tongue. And if you can't, hate it with all your heart. I did go and I asked real scholars about the subject. They said, first of all, do you know what the word munkar means? I said, something bad. They said, you have to know it in the context, just like you have to know it in the Quran in context. Let me give you the example from the Quran, and then maybe it'll help you to know what I'm talking about. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله. This is the only verse you're going to find in the Quran, all the way from Surah Baqarah, all the way back to Surah Al-Asr, where this word and this statement is coming ahead of the belief of Allah. Did you understand what I just said? Yeah, I want you to go back and look. Everywhere else in the Quran it says, Amanu wa amilu salihati. Amanu means to believe in Allah. Amal salihat is the righteous deeds. Always the deeds are after the belief, yes or no? And even in our Aqidah, we know that you have to have the correct belief for your deeds to be accepted. And even we know in the Aqidah that it is your niyyah, your intentions, that has to come first. Innama amalu binniyah. This is the famous statement of the Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that your niyyah has to be there first, and then your deeds are going to be judged according to that. True? Okay. So look at this verse and see what it says. We'll do the translation more or less and see if you get the meaning. Allah is saying that this is the best of nations raised up because they call to al-ma'ruf. they forbid al-munkar, and they believe in Allah. Did you hear that? There were two things mentioned here. Two things mentioned that are actions. Calling, forbidding, and then believing in Allah. Why didn't the verse say, because you believe in Allah and then you go out calling the people to Allah, calling them to the righteousness of what La ilaha illallah is all about? Because what happened? Get this thing right, pointing right at the mic, at the speaker. Let's move it. There we go. So do you see that this, in this case, you're talking about two actions. Calling to Ma'ruf and then forbidding munkar. And in this case, the munkar is whatever takes people away from Allah in La ilaha illallah. And that's when the sheikh says to us, how could you say you believe in Allah if you're not willing to do the other two? It's good deeds, then they're not just bad deeds. Ma'ruf and munkar in this case is not just talking about good deeds, bad deeds. It becomes that it's talking about the deen itself. So whoever's not going to do that, I'm wondering if we put enough batteries in this thing. Wake up! So when we look at this hadith, I'll show you something. Is smoking, I need to use an example, do you mind? Smoking tobacco. Is it haram? Or just makruh? How many, wait a minute, how many do not think it's really haram? Raise your hand. You don't think it's haram? It's hard to quit, isn't it? I know what you're talking about. If you go to the chemist or the pharmacy, just tell them you want to get one of those patches, you can put it on and it'll help. But anyway, if something can kill people, is it haram? If something can cause cancer, is it haram? If it can cause damage to unborn babies, is it haram? If it can give cancer to innocent children sitting in the room while you're puffing away, is it haram? If it has a drug in it, is it haram? Is nicotine a drug? Okay. Still could be makruh, right? The early scholars used the meaning haram anyway. So I realized that it is hard to quit, but if you got the problem, number one, keep asking Allah to take it away from you. Number two, don't do it in front of anybody else, because if they pick up the habit from you, you got that on you on top of everything else. So you need to abandon it ASAP. All right, now I want to come back to what I was telling you about and use the smoking as an example. So you and I, we all agreed today it's haram. So if we're going to go back and take the hadith, which said you had to stop it by your hand, that was first, yeah? There's a guy with a cigarette. Pow! Bring on the moon car. It says stop it by your hand. And you already know that's wrong. Something's wrong. And it is. It's wrong in the way you understood the hadith. Because if the first line of defense is action by your hand, then all of the accusations that other people are making against us are true. If they said Islam spread by violence, they'd be right. If that's how you understand the hadith. And by the way, they'll use that hadith to show how violent Islam can be. First thing you do, you don't even talk to the people, you just walk up, pow, get that thing out of your mouth, boy. That thing caused cancer. That got drug in it, boy. And don't even think about a guy having a beer in his hand. Woo! So if we look at it from that point of view, what are we saying? So let's go back and look at it again. And this is the case, like the ayah, that it's not talking about just munkar in the sense that it's something evil, which definitely smoking is evil. Alcohol is evil. Dealing in interest. Hey, if you said you're going to talk about munkar, how about when Allah declares harb on somebody? Declares war from Allah and His Messenger on you for dealing in riba. Yes or no? It still says that in the Quran. When I read it, that's what it said. So it still says that, huh? Well, it was there last week. I'm just thinking it's probably still there. When I was in the Christian religion, I was never sure what was going to be in there next. But this is nice because 17 years I didn't see any change. And I understand for 1400 years, still no change. So alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. But it says, harb, war. Declared on you by Allah and His Messenger to deal in this thing called riba. Yes or no? Okay. So I don't see anybody walking up to the Muslims when he gets his new car and his new house. I don't see you walking up to them and slapping them and saying, okay, give me the car. Get out of that house. Just get out in the street. Nobody ever did that. So we go back and look at it again and understand that here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed to us a verse, and the Prophet ﷺ has given to us nasiha, and he's given us the clear message of how to apply this verse. Which is what? Anything that takes people out of Islam, whatever will take people away from La ilaha illallah, this becomes an obligation on Muslims. Now you have to stop it. You have to. You cannot stand by and watch that happen. And for instance, when Muslims are being attacked or they're going to be attacked, then you have to stop it. And this is mentioned in Quran with verses related to qital. Qital. Read it in Surah Baqarah, Ayah 190, 191, 192, 193. And in Al-Ma'idah and in Tawbah and. And each time you see it, you're going to notice something. This is related, especially when they're going to be going for Hajj and Umrah, especially when they've got to go back down to Mecca, because that's where they had that take place. That's where it took place. And also, if you read the whole verse, you can understand it as well. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling the Muslims at that time, now, to go and fight them in combat. Qital is combat in this ayah, inshallah. Fight them in combat and stop if they stop, because otherwise you're the aggressor and Allah does not love the aggressor. Yeah? Using the word boom, oppressor. The next verse, when it says, and kill them,